And these guys are ready to go. So like I said, MartinCreek versus Xen, game number 1 of round 2 of the GosuCup. So Egg Paladin coming out from Xen, and MartinCreek going with that warrior. So Egg Paladin is a deck that was pretty popular around the European and, well, mainly the European winter preliminaries. I did play the deck quite a bit, the Egg Secret variation, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a nice change from your typical kind of Secret Paladin lists. So yeah, I'm happy to see this deck in the tournament. MartinCreek seems to be going with that Control Warrior, and of course, as I've mentioned in previous cups, the Elise Control Warrior is among the popular ones now, running those double bashes, double shield blocks, double slams, and all that stuff. Divine Favor picked up from Xen here. That's going to be a good card, especially against a Control Warrior, as this Control Warrior builds up enough resources and Xen runs out of steam. He has that Divine Favor ready to get him back in the game, which is not bad. Slow start from Martin, hasn't got access to the weapons. However, Xen is kind of in a similar situation. It's not till the next turn he really kicks things off, and having to develop secrets and summon Silver Hand recruits is very slow. But MartinCreek also kicks off his game with the Death Spite on turn 4. So a very kind of similar set of circumstances opening up this game for the players. So Comp Spirit is going to make things a little bit more awkward. This might be an opportunity to get that Blessing of Kings down. I wouldn't mind that too much. Get the Blessing of Kings on the Dragon Egg. Make it even more annoying to deal with. Yeah, and he goes just for that. So now this Dragon Egg is just a nuisance. You need to clear it without hitting it too many times. And warriors rely on hitting stuff, usually, to activate their executes. Get those shield slams off. But Martin's going to play patiently. I'll probably wait for that brawl. He's going to wait for a brawl opportunity and clear this egg up without too much problem. Low Feb coming off the top, but Xen might decide to go for a Keeper of Alderman if he wants an easier clear on this Deathlord. And that's exactly what he's going to go for. So this could be Brawl turn next. And 2 brawls in MartinCreek's hand, so he does have 1 to use. That is not an issue at all. And a second Keeper of Alderman, so now MartinCreek gets a fantastic brawl, and he gets to use that Death Spite as well to clear up anything that survives. The Redemption is going to go off as well, so that should pick up the Dragon Egg. Yep, picks up the Dragon Egg, and the 2-1 Dragon survives. The best situation for MartinCreek.
Well played.
And that egg's going to spawn up in the Dragon first, and the Death Spite does a full clear on the board. But Xen has that mysterious challenger to just drop down this turn if he chooses. And he's going to go for it. I don't see why you wouldn't in this situation. Thin your deck of those secrets, you get better quality of draws going into the next turns. And of course get that 6/6 body with all those pesky secrets set up. And there's only 2 there. Avenge and Noble Sack. So Redemption had been used. Comp Spirit had been used. So 2 of the kind of utility secrets had already been used up in previous turns. MartinCreek, on the other hand, he knows that Repentance is probably not going to be in that mix. He knows Competitive Spirit is gone as well. So this Deathlord should be okay. Both Keepers of Alderman are gone as well. The second one got taken out by the first Deathlord. So Xen can't actually pop this open just yet. He needs a little bit extra. So the question is, do you go for low Feb Minibot? Or do you go for Muster Minibot Hero Power? It's a tough call. Second brawl is something to consider. I think if you want to play around the second brawl, you maybe develop Lothar next turn instead. I think that would be a lot better. Because then Lothar can protect this board that can play already. So if no brawl comes from MartinCreek, Zen has the Lothar to follow up next turn. But the Noble Sack is going to pop this open. And now we're probably just going to see the brawl. Especially with a bash in hand. Ooh, Nerubian Egg makes things a little awkward. Minibot. Do you pop open the egg first?
Played.
Yeah, I say you pop open the egg first. Brawl number 2. And the 1-1 lives to tell the tale. Not the best result there, but with so many 1-1s on the field, Zen didn't really have much choice.
Put this apple on your head.
And now they try and squeeze in a little bit of extra damage with that muster and get that Divine Favor draw to recharge himself. And this is where Divine Favor has a big impact on the game. And it's a great tech option for the Paladin lists. They believe a lot of control decks are going to come up against. So he finds Consecration and Ragnaros. So this is kind of old school Secret Paladin. Rocking that Ragnaros like Oskaka made popular last year. Or was it in January? It might have been in January. I can't. It's quite a while ago. So Bash going to take out that Knife Juggler. Might see a Shield Maiden if Martin wants the body. Might just try and get that tank up rolling now so he knows he can start sustaining over the next few turns. A Lothar Kings isn't too bad. A very high pressure board. Just go for, or could just go for Rag. Doesn't use his weapon there to clear up that last health. And this guy is a chatty one. Oh, shield block. So a draw card for MartinCreek, but also gets that extra health from the armor. Gonna slam first, see if he can find that execute. Oh, and he finds the execute off the top. I'm sure Zen's not gonna be very happy about this. So might want to squeeze in a hero power,
I can take the
but
hit.
just go to the Shield Maiden. I don't mind that. Get that 5/5 body on board. Abusive into Consecration is a clear on this 5/5 without too much trouble. And then you can play Lothar as well and get a 5/5 of your own down. Dr. Boom could just come down and push for damage. And that is going to be the play here. Don't mind the Abusive as well, because you want to take out as much armor as possible. You don't want shield slamming to be easy for this warrior. But if you imagine if Zen didn't have that Divine Favor, we're in a very different game right now. But Revenge is now active, so the 5/5 could run into the Dr. Boom, he could Revenge, and then start armoring up. I don't mind that at all. I think I preferred the shield block after the Revenge, because as a control warrior, armor matters. It activates your shield slams, and having as much armor as possible is always great. We see an Avenging Wrath. Wow. Avenging Wrath. So potentially Owl Lothar with hero power. Isn't Owl really necessary at this point? I don't think so. Lothar's going to lock out a lot of spells. Still going to be able to armor up Shield Slam. That's still an option. This creates the most pressure on board. Consecration. Interesting. Yeah, I don't see the real reason you want to do that. Just goes for an owl. So Grom has to come down defensively. How is he going to do this? Still gets an armor up. I guess you could just clear smaller minions. And then you have a 10-8 on board. So you say to the Paladin, do you have an answer to this? He does have Avenging Wrath, so there is something. Second Mysterious Challenger is drawn. So MartinCreek is staying in the game. But xEn still has a lot of options. Wow. So many went face then. Consecration doesn't even need it. Blessed Kings is gonna be able to finish this game off. So yeah, xEn takes this with a very fortunate Avenging Wrath, doing enough damage to face and taking game number 1. So the Control Warrior did fall short a little bit there. Unfortunately for MartinCreek, xEn does take the first game with that Egg Paladin, so we're not going to see that again. So no more surprises from that deck. So if a player is willing to bring Egg Paladin, I'm curious to see what else he's willing to throw in his lineup. So yeah, these guys are going to be figuring out their next decks for the next game. If you guys are just tuning in, this is the GosuCup for Europe, brought to you by GosuGamers.net. 128 players, with quite a few pro players: Game King, Gara, Spo, Wampy, MartinCreek, Tice, Nyria. Tice went out in round 1, unfortunately. I think all the other pros are still going. Pavel as well. I know we get a bit of a Russian audience in here as well, so one of your boys will be playing as well. So quite a few good players. Also, we got HCT points on the line. So game number 2, xEn gonna be leading with that rogue against the warrior. So this is gonna be a tough match for this rogue. He's gonna have to establish a very convincing board within the first few turns and try and keep the damage pumping. It's very easy for a rogue to run out of steam in this matchup specifically, because the warrior can just hero power and use his armor gain cards to basically put his health above the range of damage a rogue can do. So Shiv indicates potentially Malagos. We'll have to see how that goes.
The pleasure is mine.
MartinCreek has everything he needs to stay in this game. Fiery War Axe for the 3/3s like Farseer, SI7. Deathlord to stall things out. Elise just as a body. 2 Shield Slams as well. The Brawls. Kind of has a lot of the things he needs. Might see a Fire War Axe, sorry, come down, because he wants to play the Deathlord next turn. Deadly Poison Shiv, so wants to set up that weapon early. And there's that SI7, so taking a very aggressive stance on turn 3. But Death does not scare MartinCreek at all. Nope.
I will be your death.
Probably just going to see a Tomb Pillager. Could prep Eviscerate SI weapon. A lot of resources at this point. It seems a little excessive. So Tomb Pillager is going to come down. I can imagine the draw engine for this deck is going to be Gadget Zan over Sprint. Especially if it's a Malagos list. And we see 2 Tomb Pillagers as well.
Do you have the artifact?
MartinCreek doing a good job of keeping the board intact. So if... Oh, there's a South Sea deckhand. Interesting. So South Sea deckhand usually features in the oil variations of Rogue. But we've seen indications that this could be Malagoth. So maybe it's a spicy mix of both. We'll have to see. Second SI comes out from the Death Lord. Not going to find any value from that. What else? Maybe a Pillager?
I wonder.
Although Deadly Poison Weapon, South Sea Deckhand deals with Elise.
Choose soon.
I'm just going to get those bodies down. Sort of put pressure on Martin. Martin has so many answers in hand. And this is where the Rogue struggles, especially for warrior draws like this. If he draws Justica, things are going to be very tough. So now Deathspite is in hand, and Deathspite does deal with Pillager. But MartinCreek happy to drop the second Death Lord, force him to have an answer to that, and use damaging resources to clear out these taunts.
Well played.
Sap off the top. Definitely going to slow things down a little bit. So xEn is putting on the pressure.
This guy's toast.
He is matching the pace of the warrior. Down to 13 health on turn 6. So no messing about from xEn. Trying to find that win as quickly as possible. Deathspite definitely has a sense of danger. Gonna have to shield slam execute. And then coin out that Death Lord once again. So MartinCreek already being backed into a corner and expending a lot of resources to try and stay in the game, try and stay alive. And this is a position that xEn wants him to be in. And this conceal. So definitely Gadget Zan. Not going to be a sprint variation. So clearing a Death Lord is going to cost a lot. It's going to cost Poison, Eviscerate, South Sea, but Redagger and Pass. So this will give MartinCreek time, which is what he needs right now. He needs time to start pressing that hero power button. Shield Maiden's a great pickup as well. 5/5 body, gain 5 armor as well.
I can take the hit.
I think warriors are going to be missing this card a lot when standard comes around. They do have a replacement, but it is the Cthulhu one, if I remember rightly. Which makes things a little awkward. Falmos is going to be allow the Death Lord to be cleared, but ain't too much trouble. South Sea might come down to finish off Elise. Or is he just going to go for the conceal? Backstab for free. If he picks up that Blade Flurry, that would have been very nice. Where's this Abyss going? Potentially face? Yep, so he's trying to find that Blade Flurry. Fan? Prepping to fan? Wow. I can't help but like Gadget Zan card draw. It's very fun when you do it, I find. Well, that's probably just me. Yep, Fan clears these up, no Blade Flurry required. Conceal into another backstab. And that is the end of the Gadget Zan nonsense. 8 cards left in deck, 19 left for Martin. I think it's 12 health for Revenge activation, so Brawl it will be. Fingers crossed the Falmos stays alive, and he does, so no more card draw. Oh, it's Faceless Manipulator South Sea deckhand. So a very different variation of the Rogue. Very miracle orientated. Uses that Blade Flurry now to get that extra 1 damage. And even squeezes in a hit with the dagger. So Revenge clears his own Acolyte. Might just need to be Revenge, execute. Armor up, 5, leaves 4, can play Death Spike. But Martin feels he needs to find cards, willing to kill an entire Acolyte of Pain, finds another weapon, and there's a Cold Blood. So this should just be lethal. 6, 12, and that is going to be lethal. So game number 2 is going to go over for Xen with that old school, exciting double Cold Blood South Sea Deckhand Faceless Manipulator finish that we all love, right guys? 20 damage. And this warrior not doing well for MartinCreek at the moment. Letting him down as far as things go. So if this is a druid coming up next from Xen, Martin could be in a lot of trouble going forward in this series. Having to win a game with that warrior is going to be tough against a druid. We've seen Egg Paladin, we've seen Rogue. So the last deck we've seen kind of a very spicy lists coming from Xen. So I'm interested to see what he'll run as his last deck. Maybe Astral Druid, the famous Tice Astral Druid. Maybe he's that crazy. We'll have to see. So let's have a look. As we're going to wait for a moment, I'm sure Martin will want to figure out what's going on. Or he's just going to queue straight into the next game. He's going to look over the bracket. But if you guys do want to look at the bracket, be sure to type !bracket in the chat. Game number 3 here, guys. Xen versus MartinCreek. 2-0 lead so far. And we have a Warlock. I'm going to say for now, just a Warlock. Mid-range Warlock, potentially. MartinCreek still going to roll with that warrior and see if he can find a win. So I was looking at the bracket. I'll have a quick whirl through to see what's going on.
I greet you. Will regret this.
A Wrathguard. Not very often you see this card. But Pavel is in round 2. He's currently playing his game. Game King is still going. Nyria has 3-0'd both his opponents going into round 3. Dr. Hippie and Piro are still playing. Spo is taking the lead against Monkaloid. Doki has been eliminated in round 2. Wampy is still playing in round 2. And Casper goes through to round 3. So these Wrathguards are going to have to do some tanking. And a very threatening board to start with. But Brawl is going to be able to answer that without too much problem. And the second Deathlord. And MartinCreek has had these Deathlords every time, but they haven't helped him win the game. Fist of Jaraxxus.
It's getting hot in here.
And Flame Juggler. This guy's putting on a show for you. So Wrathguard in first. Let the Imp Gang boss clear the last part. You don't want to do it that side. You want to do it on the right side. I'll have to see what he decides to do.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
Could have done that a little bit more cleanly. Could have got an extra 1 damage. We're probably going to see Brawl. Nerubian Egg surviving would be the best situation for MartinCreek. Doesn't pop up with that 4-4. Oh, so close. The 1-1's not bad though. The 1-1 isn't bad at all. So, Fist of Jaraxxus and Doomguards can have a little bit of synergy coming up next turn.
Well played.
I can take the hit.
And if this Fist of Jaraxxus lands on the 5/5, ooh, might go for Argus instead. Argus feels like a great resource to use here. Can really push for damage. And I like the Argus in the middle.
My shield.
Yep, go for in the middle. Protect that 4/4. Two awkward minions to hit. Ah, wow, Soulfire. There's a lot of discard in this deck. Oh, he is considering clearing. Don't mind being aggressive here. They've just seen a brawl. He decides to go for it, so take your MartinCreek down to 11 health already. MartinCreek gonna need to find some answers. Really needs that brawl, so second brawl. Or a shield slam. Shield slam would make a big difference as well. Does have execute. Shield block first, see if he finds a shield slam, second execute. Execute having no real activator. So going to minimize the power on board as much as possible. 19 health, 5, 6, 7, 12, 16, needs 2 more. And that's going to be it. Keeps the Soulfire. And a clean sweep here for Xen. Oh wait, it's not enough. My bad, I miscounted. He had a 11 and 8. I counted 18 health for some reason. Sapcasters, guys, Sapcasters. Martin's going to need a bit of a miracle. The Sludge Belcher will keep him in the game. But with a tap, all he needs is an Owl or another Doom Guard. So tap going to come down. Void Walker's not what he needs. And there's the Owl! That is absolutely brutal. And Xen is going to take a 3-0 sweep over MartinCreek. So well played from Xen there. He brought some very interesting decks. Decks I wasn't expecting personally. And so yeah, he takes 3-0 lead over MartinCreek. And that means one SK gaming player is already out of the tournament. So a couple of upsets already to start off the GosuCup EU 3. So I'm going to get another game set up for you. I'm going to try and catch up with some of these round 3 matches as they go in. Try and be as quick as possible. I tried to aim for a 15-minute mark, but sometimes it doesn't always work out. So bear with me, guys. I will keep you posted on what's going on. And I'll be back very soon with the rest of the GosuCup. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.